It's January, which means it's almost time to start thinking about filing your taxes. You might be tempted to hire a tax prep company, especially if you're seeing ads like these. We'll talk more about this later. But did you know that in 23 states you can file your taxes for free through a new government service called Direct File? Yes, you heard that right, a government service. It's offered by the IRS and it launched last year as a pilot with money from the Inflation Reduction Act signed by President Joe Biden. Last year, Direct File helped more than 140,000 taxpayers file for free, and it uses a question and answer format very similar to what you might see with software like TurboTax, except it's free. The U.S. Government Accountability Office gave Direct File great reviews, and 90% of users surveyed ranked their experience as excellent or above average. Not bad for the government, right? So here are the 23 states where Direct File is available this year. And the other thing to know is that your taxes do have to be fairly basic. Direct File isn't currently available if you own a business, for example, or if you itemize your deductions. But if you're like most Americans, you should be eligible if it's available in your state. So why not give it a try this year instead of paying hundreds of dollars to a paid preparer? Okay, so about those paid preparers. Now that you know about Direct File, you might be asking yourself, why hasn't the government offered this service before? And the answer is pretty simple. The tax prep industry doesn't want it. In fact, tax prep companies have spent millions of dollars for decades to block the government from offering free tax filing software like Direct File. Since 2003, the tax prep industry has spent more than $90 million to lobby against free filing. In 2023 alone, the makers of TurboTax spent nearly $3.8 million lobbying Congress and hired more than 100 lobbyists. The reason, of course, is the amount of money the tax prep industry rakes in every year. In 2024, tax prep companies collected about $13.4 billion in revenue. H&R Block collected $3.6 billion in revenue. One reason these companies make so much money is because of what they charge for refund advance products, which are basically like payday loans for your refund. Many places, in fact, encourage you to borrow against your refund to finance the cost of tax prep. Say, for example, the tax prep is going to cost you $300 and you pay a $40 fee to get the cash up front. You're basically borrowing that amount from your refund until you get it from the IRS. If it takes just 3 weeks to get that refund, that's still an interest rate of 232%, according to the National Consumer Law Center. Moreover, you're likely to pay all sorts of processing fees and service fees, which means more money for the tax prep company and less money for you. That's why the industry does not want free filing. They want to keep those profits rolling in for themselves. And by the way, Republicans in Congress have introduced legislation to abolish Direct File. They claim it's wasteful. But let's get real about whose side they're on. It's the tax prep industry, not taxpayers like you. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.